Well, hello there, and welcome to a whole new episode of
Funny
Blue,
pizza.
which is also available at our website,
Funny
blue.com.
pizza.
Anyway, my name's Kevin Kolbe.
I'm Christopher Sean Shaw, and I have a ring light in my. Oh, there we go. The camera's backwards. I have a ring light right there. So
In your nose.
yeah, I guess I
Oh.
could do this. I think I look better with the glasses, but I guess we'll do this.
And for the folks listening to the podcast, they're like, I can't see you.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I need to keep the listener onlys in mind.
Do you think there's a potential future? Here's an idea for anybody listening out there. If you're trying to look for a project or something to create a nose ring light.
A nose ring light, as in it's on a stand that shoots off your nose.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of trendy for people that like that type of thing, but if you need a light, it's right there.
Oh, you mean like a nose ring,
Light.
but a nose
Yes.
ring light.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
No,
don't know what episode this
I
is,
don't.
but
I mean, I don't know. Neon, maybe.
at some point somebody will look back to this episode and go, "Wow, that's when it was created."
We were prophetic.
By the way, this is the first time I'm drinking coffee while we're doing this.
Well, thanks for the play-by-play.
Well,
Oh
hang
yeah,
on.
wait. Let's get the.
I got one last
get
sip.
the-
Hang on.
Oh, that was really good. That was really
Love me some
good.
coffee.
Could the listener onlys out there really capture that? Like, did you like feel it?
It was good. And for the visual, you can see that I spilled it. So we got something new today. So we did something not too long ago where we both came up with a topic without telling the other person.
Mhm.
And we just kind of sprung it on the other person and got into some really good discussions.
Mhm.
So today I get to
And
go.
I don't know what he's gonna say, kids. I don't know what this is.
So
He's springing
I
on me.
had,
He's springing it on me, quote unquote, live.
yeah, literally. We were getting ready, and I said, "Okay, I got it. Can I do mine today?" So I would like to introduce what I will go ahead and say right now with absolute, pure 97% confidence that this will become an ongoing shtick for the funnybluepizza.com video podcast show.
I'm weighted with bated breath. I'm waiting
right.
with bated breath. I'm not saying that properly.
What-
That's like
okay,
the
let me-
second time
what-
I've done that in conversation. Anyway,
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it means you're holding your like you're on the edge of your seat breath wise. I'm
Bated
waiting
breath.
with bated breath.
All my life, all I've envisioned is somebody with a fish in their mouth. I don't know why. Doesn't even make sense. It's about as useful as the nose ring light.
Yeah. You can market them side by side.
Okay,
And get the
here
same
we go.
amount of purchases.
So this is the new feature that I'm going to introduce, and
Roll it out, Kev.
It'll
Where's
be
the red
great,
carpet?
or it'll go down like the nose ring light. It's called Over Under. The idea
Over-under.
is
I like it.
ask you 5 things that you have to say whether they're overrated or underrated
Nice. Over
And-
under. I like it.
and why. You don't get a pass. So if I just say, whatever, liver and onions, that's not one, and you go underrated, you got to explain it, right? So over under.
Over under. Okay.
All right, you ready? Now, by the way, if you're listening to this or watching it on our YouTube channel, play along. Leave a
Yeah.
comment and fight us on any of these.
Yeah. I
Let us have it.
figuratively, of course.
Yeah,
We do
let us have
not
it. No.
we do not condone violence.
No. I learned a long time ago, if somebody's chasing you, you don't have to be faster than him. You just have to be faster than the other guy you're running with. All right, here we go.
Okay, there was a little breakup there, so we missed the punchline, I think, or at least I did on my end. So
It was
one
no
more
good.
time. All right,
No, it
take
was.
two. Take
Well,
two on
it's
Kevin's
there's
joke.
the old joke of like there's a bear, there's two guys out in the woods and the bear's chasing them, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Man, we can't outrun the bear." And the guy goes, "I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you."
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So
All right, so
outrun the
here we
guy
go.
you run with. Got it. Yeah.
Over under.
Over under.
Number 1, is it overrated or underrated? Netflix.
I didn't know it was gonna be tough.
We're on the first
uh,
one. You don't win
I,
anything.
uh, I want to. Can we have a middle category? Can we have
Oh,
a
no, no, come on.
an
Come
or
on. Don't be a
over under
politician.
or it's an or? I don't know. I don't know. I can. Okay, I have to play the pass card. I have to pass.
Oh my word.
No.
Really?
Okay. Well, if I had to pick one,
Yes.
and while I'm trying to decide, people watching and listening, please comment below what you think. Is Netflix over or under? I'm going to say
Hang on. While
over.
you're dragging your answer out, do you watch Netflix? Do you have a Netflix account?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I
All right.
toggle back and forth between Netflix and Amazon Prime Video.
Interesting.
Right
So what
now,
do you
I'm
think?
watching Broadchurch season 2 on. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. They kind of kicked it off in episode 1 of season 2, didn't they?
I told you. Yep.
Um, yeah, my wife tried to warn me. I started season 2 at like it was past. I think it was past midnight. So I think, and it was this past midnight. So I watched 3 episodes, I think, in a
It's
row.
so good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very very intriguing. But anyway, so I'm gonna say over,
Ooh.
and my reason is
Okay.
because I think going to the movies in a movie theater is
Interesting.
underrated. Um, and I think again, if the elements are there, you're watching a good movie, it's a relatively packed audience, and you can feel the excitement in the room, kind of a
Mhm.
thing, and people are reacting and laughing and oh, and gasping and everything. That experience is significantly better than watching it in the living room, on your
Right.
phone, on your laptop, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to say over from that context. But I mean,
So from the
obviously,
context
I
of
mean, binge
that,
watching is like a
yeah.
sport of the 21st century, and I've been guilty.
Hey,
So, I mean, if there was a category for binge watching in the Olympics, I think I could be a contestant.
well, we've had this conversation. Christopher and I have had this conversation that what I have found is I'm a hoarder of things in my queue.
Yeah, me
I
too.
have
I
more
have well over
shows.
150
Oh,
probably in my queue, and I keep adding to.
yeah. I will sign up for free accounts on apps I'll never use just so I can put things in the queue. It's that bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
horrible. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Don't you get
Faith.
to answer the
Huh?
question?
Okay. So do you want me to give
You
my
don't get to
answer?
answer it? It's just
Okay, I'll
me?
answer.
You're just putting me on the spotlight?
So I'm gonna say it's kind of both.
Yeah,
No, I
I
can't say
agree.
that. Yeah. So again, if I were like you, I would say it's probably underrated barely. But I came at it from a totally different thing.
Right.
I think, the only reason I say underrated is because it blows my mind the amount of stuff on there.
Yes.
That I mean, you can sort and, there's all these supposedly secret codes where you can unlock other categories
Oh,
that are on
really?
there. Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
know that.
Now the thing that drives me nuts, and if nobody has ever done this and you have Netflix, do it. Go to the search and just type in, Saving Private Ryan. Just type that in.
Okay.
Even if it's not on there, they'll serve you up a Saving Private Ryan list of things that have nothing to do with what you just looked for. And it's like,
Yeah, and it's and I would say,
yeah,
and this is why I would say Netflix is underrated, is because or sorry, overrated. My
yeah.
bad. Overrated is because there's so much crap on there.
Oh, yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you sat there and literally spent 30 to 40 minutes just watching trailers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. While we're on this, I absolutely hate, and Amazon Prime has done this now. I hate this autoplay feature now. You,
Oh,
you
yeah.
scroll, and I'm just trying to read the little synopsis, and
Right,
it
and
already
then all
starts
of a sudden
playing a
starts
clip.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the
Like, can
way,
you let me decide if I wanna
yeah,
watch the
yeah.
video?
Yeah, it's like, come
Yeah.
on, it's just no, it just, but I think overall, if, with the criteria set forth of this game, I'll say
Yes.
underrated.
Okay.
All right,
Next
number
one.
2, faith-based movies.
Under.
Why so?
Because for such a long time, faith-based movies have gotten such a bad, is it rep or rap? Bad
Rap,
rap? Bad
rap,
rep?
a bad rap.
A bad rap.
Stands for reputation.
Yeah. Reputation. That's why I thought it, yeah, so anyway,
It may be
yeah.
rap. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
for a long time, faith-based movies got a bad reputation. I'm, using, Kevin's verbiage there. So, but over the past several plus years, if not decade,
Yeah.
they have gotten significantly better, um, and, uh, shameless plug, some people would even say this one right here.
Now, if you're listening on podcast, he's holding up his, church people, his movie DVD that he tends to do even if we're not talking about movies or DVD or church people or
I
church.
just randomly pulled it. Hey, I'm proud of this movie, okay? Not
You
everybody
should
loves it.
be. You
Not
should be.
everybody loves it, but
Hey,
by and large, the vast majority of people that I've heard from, read from online, even people I don't know, the vast majority have really enjoyed it. So,
I
I'm very
loved your
proud of this
caveat.
movie.
Even people I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, even people I don't know. Well,
Forget my
you got
friends and family, but those people I don't know.
so I would say, faith-based movies are underrated because they've come a long way, and, there's still a lot to explore with them. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't I would I mean, but and trust me, I understand. I may be even a little bit more hesitant to watch a faith-based film than I would another film that I know nothing about, and I'm waiting to watch the trailer or whatever,
Yeah.
because there's still kind of a stigma there, even in my
Yeah.
own mind. But I think they're getting better, and I think there's some really good ones out there. I'd like to shout out a couple that I think are really, really underrated as far as like more people need to see them. One is a filmmaker, his first feature film, Brent McCorkle, who was one of the writers, editors, and did the scoring for I Can Only Imagine, the Irwin Brothers movie, which is a great movie, by the way. But he
Mhm.
was part of that process. But his first feature that sort of helped introduce him to the Irwin Brothers was a film on it might still be on Netflix, called Unconditional,
Hmm.
based on a true story, low budget film, like $2.5 million, and he knocked it out of the park. I mean, it's a really good film.
Interesting.
Unconditional. So shout out for that one. And then the other one that I think is one of the best faith-based movies I've ever seen is and no, I'm not gonna hold up my DVD. Um is a movie called, based off of the very, very popular book series, The Case for Christ.
I have
The
not seen it.
production value of that movie, you have you seen it?
No, have not seen it. Read the
Okay,
book.
you got to see that movie.
Amazing book.
Yeah, so it's based off the wildly popular book by Lee Strobel. Brian Bird, who's now of When Calls the Heart fame, he scripted the screenplay for the movie version of The Case for Christ, and it's a phenomenal film. They did a phenomenal job. John Gunn directed it. Incredible filmmaker, John Gunn. Incredible
Mm,
filmmaker. He directed it. It's got a great cast. It's really, really well done, and there's nuances in the performances, and there's layers and depth, and
yeah.
it's a stellar film. And of course, there's other films too, like
Yeah.
Woodlawn. I really, really enjoyed, and I Can Only Imagine. I'm kind of the oddball out. I do like a number of the Kendrick Brothers movies, although a lot of people don't. But I thought Courageous was fantastic. But
I
but
didn't
yeah,
see
shout out to
Courageous.
Unconditional
Yeah.
and The Case for Christ.
Did
Definite
they
must sees in my opinion.
did they do Faith Like Giants? Or no.
Faith,
No.
faith like giants? You mean
No, what is it?
facing the giants?
What is it? Yes.
Yeah, the Kendrick Brothers did Flywheel. That was their first one, $20,000 budget, which was an impressive adventure for $20,000. The next one was Facing the Giants.
Facing the
100,000.
Giants.
It was either 80 or $100,000 budget, depending on who you talk to, but it was around $100,000 budget. And then their next one was Fireproof. And then their next one was Courageous. And then their next one was War Room,
War Room.
which
Mhm.
was number one at the box office when it came out.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all.
I didn't like it as much as Courageous. I like Courageous way better. And
I
then their next
yeah.
one, which I liked even better than War Room, was Overcomer.
We probably could save this one for another one, but
Yeah. Again,
I
I'm
had
the oddball out. A lot of people don't like
yeah.
Kendrick. I love the
No,
Kendrick Brothers,
I had
but
issues with War Room, which is we can say for another discussion. But I will tell you, Facing the Giants, I loved. There's a scene in there where, and if you haven't seen it, you'll just have to watch it. Is on the football field where the coach gets down on the ground with the
the Death
player.
Crawl.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a great scene.
you
That's a
know,
fantastic scene.
I'm not an easy crier, and I was like getting
Oh,
all mumbly by the time that was over. I'm going
no.
to join you that they're underrated, and I'll tell you why. There is no, and by the way, guys, if you're listening and watching this, we're just playing for fun, right? So, but again, if you want to leave a comment and say, I think you guys are crazy, that's okay. I appreciate it. And it's got to sound like that if we read it back. There's no perfect genre. I mean, there are over and underrated war movies, westerns,
Oh,
comedies, on
yeah,
and on and on.
absolutely.
I
Any movie
think,
category you can think of, there's
oh yeah,
over and underrated films.
but I think that media and the society they think of faith-based because Hollywood's probably not gonna bankroll that. I mean, okay, we can make this movie about God or the Transformers. Let's do
Yeah.
that
Mm,
because nobody's seen that,
mm,
you know.
mm.
So, and by the way, I say that having really enjoyed the first Transformers.
Yeah, the first one was phenomenal. The
So I
ones
think
after
what's
that,
happened,
not so
yeah,
much.
yeah, I think what happened is a lot of folks just said, "Fine, we're gonna make it and we're gonna do what we can." Um, so yeah, I think they're underrated because I think there are some good ones out there where even if you have zero relationship with God, faith in your life, on some level, you go, "Wow, the message behind this is pretty good."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right,
There's some
ready
really
for
good
the third
ones, and
one?
there's a bunch I didn't mention that, there's some
Oh
really,
yeah.
really good ones. Yeah.
By the way, if you're a director of one and he did not mention you, do not unfriend him.
If what?
If somebody's listening to this or watching this and they have directed a faith-based movie that
Oh.
you did not bring up, do not
Oh, that I
take
did
that
not
out
bring
on him.
up.
You didn't know. Okay, number 3, overrated or underrated? You ready?
I'm ready.
Tom Cruise.
Under. Tom Cruise is a
I just loved your
phenomenal.
reaction. I loved your reaction. You it it hurt you to make one on Netflix, and this one like under.
Yeah, he's definitely he's totally underrated. Now, do I think he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to Scientology? Yeah, I mean, honestly, absolutely. Because if y'all haven't seen it, you got to watch the Scientology. Uh, what's this show called? Leah Remini's show on
Yes, I know the one you're talking about. Is that good?
Netflix.
Is that good?
Oh my golly, it is mind blowingly like this is crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, and she was, yeah, anyway, she was high up in the organization. Her mom was even higher up than she was. And there's basically, I mean, spoiler alert, but there's basically no arrival in Scientology. You don't, there's no, I mean, like you
Oh,
get to
yeah.
the
I mean,
top,
yeah,
there's no super duper big resolve at the top, and you start actually going through the steps again.
it's a cult.
So
I mean,
it's
I'll just call it's a cult.
It's a cult. It's absolutely a cult. So,
Yeah.
but from an acting cinematic perspective, Tom Cruise is pretty much every definition of a movie star there is.
Yeah.
And he's a stellar actor as well. And if you question his acting chops,
He'll kill you.
watch Born on the 4th of July.
So,
I mean, like he's a phenomenal actor, and he's very entertaining. And the Mission Impossible movies, hello. I mean, come on.
so I tell you what, I think, and I would love to hear if folks are listening and watching at some point what you think about this. But I would love to do a whole just Oscar podcast with you because I think I love to talk about movies and takes on movies. So, for example, you mentioned Born on the 4th of July. I
Yeah.
absolutely could not stand the movie, but Tom Cruise was phenomenal in it.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly don't remember my overall reaction to the film itself. I just remember watching that going, this guy can act. I
yeah,
mean, this
yeah,
is really good acting. And he's really good. And even if you watch him in the, you might call him popcorn movies or whatever, but the Mission Impossible movies, he's got like little
yeah,
nuances and stuff that he does. Like there's a
yeah.
lot going on underneath. There's a lot of layers going on in his performance, and
In fact,
I
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I 100% agree. That underrated. I haven't liked every Tom Cruise movie, but I think Mission Impossible 2 was the only one I couldn't stand.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like Ang Lee just took it off into a whole different direction that didn't make any sense. I
3
thought
and
it
6 were
was
my
on track with
favorites.
the third one,
The
but
third one was phenomenal, and the third one, fun fact, J.J. Abrams' directorial debut for a feature film,
I didn't know
and it
that. I
was
knew he directed it. I didn't know that
phenomenal.
was his first. Wow.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams directed it, and the story behind that is, um, Tom Cruise was watching Alias, and
How funny.
he got really kind of addicted to Alias, and he really liked the tone and the directing style, and he just liked
Yeah.
the stylistic nature of it. And he basically had a meeting with J.J. Abrams, and the way they tell the story is like he's like, "So you want to do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." So that's more or less how he got the Mission Impossible 3 gig. So,
Well,
but that movie was phenomenal, and Philip
yeah.
Seymour Hoffman's performance
Yeah.
phenomenal. I
Well,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
I think he's underrated because of all
Yeah.
the cult stuff,
Yeah.
and Pretty Boy, whatever you want to call it, and all kinds of rumors and whatnot over the years. But strictly as an actor, I think he's phenomenal.
Well, and you know what? I mean, the one thing that from what I understand is he does the majority of his own stunts.
Oh yeah, yeah, he
And
insists. Yeah, and
there's
he's
a
in his 50s. He's in like his mid
yeah,
50s or late 50s.
there's a great it was the last Mission Impossible movie. There's a great behind the scenes making of that somebody could probably look on YouTube of
Yeah.
them shooting the scene of him free falling out of the plane. and it's fun. He's like, no, I'm doing it. You know, I don't want to do the
Yeah.
face map on an
Well,
actor.
well,
Yeah.
not only that, but in Fallout, he also flew that helicopter. He took
Yes.
some
Yes.
crazy amount of hours, and there's a YouTube video on that. Just, I mean, and they did a fun one for Mission Impossible 5 as well. Like, why do the effects, why do the special effects in Mission Impossible look so real? Because they are.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's really hanging on the side of that plane.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
really hanging on the side of that plane. They did it 8 times. They
So
took that plane off with him hanging on the side 8 times. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's phenomenal. I hope he doesn't die doing it. I
yeah,
mean, because, you know. Anyway,
which is good.
now can I do an over under? Can I throw in one of the opposite
Yeah.
of who I think is ridiculously overrated actor wise? And I'm gonna get flack for this. I'm gonna get flack for this. You ready?
Yeah.
Sean Connery. Overrated.
You know,
He's a good, now don't mishear me. He's a good actor. He's a good actor, but he sounds the same at every single time. Whether I'm playing a
yeah.
Scotsman
Yeah.
or a Russian naval captain, I'm Sean Connery. You know, it's the
You come
same
at you with a
thing.
knife, you come at them with a gun. That's the Chicago way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can play
Yeah.
an Irishman and
Yeah.
a Russian naval captain and sound almost exactly the same.
Even though I will
Because I'm
say, up
Sean
until
Connery.
Daniel Craig, I thought he was the best Bond.
Daniel
So there
Craig
is
was
that.
incredible, yeah. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I didn't grow I mean, yes, I sort of I'm not a diehard James Bond fan. I mean,
Oh,
I've
I am.
enjoyed some of the films, but I don't really like what he stands for, obviously. I mean, like, he's a womanizer and, you know, I don't really
Okay,
like.
well, if you have to bring that into it.
Yeah, I don't like the message, you know, he's gotta
Yeah.
shag all these women and whatnot, and is that a cuss word, by the way?
I don't know.
Is
I'm just trying to think of, should I have not shown that at the last youth group? But, you know, you have to learn.
Yeah,
Hey,
probably not.
kids.
But as far as acting goes, in purely cinematic, I would agree Daniel Craig was incredible. And my favorite Daniel Craig one was the one that Sam Mendes directed, Fallout. No, not Fallout. No,
Skyfall.
that's Skyfall. Thank you. I knew it had the word fall in it. Yeah, Skyfall. I thought that was really well done.
So
But
here's
but
the
I wanted
irony.
to say, Sean Connery's a good actor. I just think he's so overrated, especially as James Bond. I mean, like, get over yourselves already. Seriously, I'm sorry. But in fairness, I've only seen clips of him as James Bond. I've never watched an entire James
He's
Bond with
really
him in
good.
it. So
Yeah,
I know I'm going to get all kinds of flack for that if anybody actually watches
yeah.
or listens to this. But that's my over under on Sean Connery.
So I'll share this one little tidbit about just basically my personal viewing of movies, and then we'll move on to the next one. But so Casino Royale, I would put on my, you know, I think we've talked about it. I have an all-time best list of movies and TV. I mean, even albums, you know, those type things that, yeah, it's on there. And like Broadchurch you mentioned, is on my all-time best TV list.
Mhm.
Casino Royale would be on my all-time best movie list. It just
Is that the
worked
one that
on
had
so many levels.
parkour in the beginning?
Do I
The
know?
parkour chase? Was that the one with the parkour chase in the beginning?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the one with the chair with the hole in it?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
golly. Oh
Well, and
man.
it also did a nice job of kind of restarting the franchise.
Oh, okay.
And I think it had gotten so silly and kind of like, I mean, you know, Pierce Brosnan, I mean, you got an invisible car and there's an ice castle and all this crap. But when Skyfall came out, I went to see it and I did not like it. And I'll tell
Really?
you why, because there was a little bit more humor to it. And
Oh.
I thought, no, that what no, 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 no. He's, you know, he's James Bond and stuff like that. But then when I rewatched it, and to me,
Mhm.
this is the beauty of movies. And
Yeah.
I could list half a dozen movies I've done this to. When I finally
Yep.
rewatched it, completely different reaction. And I thought, that's a good movie.
Yeah. When I saw the movie Hook
I actually
in
love
theaters,
Hook. I liked it. I maybe like it.
It's
Maybe
one of
love
my
it.
favorite movies now. But when I saw it in theaters, I remember being really disappointed. And I'm not sure why. I felt disappointed. But
Yeah.
then over the years, I'd see bits and pieces of it, whether it be on like cable or TV or VHS or whatever. Y'all remember that VHS? Y'all remember those?
I remember the movie.
But it's one of my favorites now. Um, so
It's
yeah,
good.
I,
Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
totally understand what you're saying. But what I really appreciated, like right away with Skyfall, was the directing. I thought the
Yeah.
directing was incredible, and just the way the shots were framed and what he would like that. I think it was specifically the opening shot. I'm like, oh, this is really well done.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 4.
What's the next
We
one?
we only have 5. So number 4, overrated or underrated?
We're only on 4.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, this is so long-winded, y'all.
That's okay.
I hope
Rap
you're enjoying it.
music.
Please comment below. Can you not be so long-winded, or no? Keep talking. We like it.
All right. Number 4, overrated, underrated, rap music.
Oh.
I want to make sure you get all the hate mail this week.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. I'm gonna say over. Now that's not to say there's not some incredibly talented rap artists. I mean, for sure, it's certainly something I'm not gifted at. You don't want to see this white boy rap, but or hear this white boy rap, but I would say over. And I think it's just, yeah, I would say over, especially the really nasty rap
Yeah.
stuff. Where I mean, like, how can I mean, like, okay, not to get like uber political or anything, but I do want to say this one thing. How can society be so enamored with nasty rap lyrics and really just lambasting women and calling them B's and H's and like just, I mean, how can that be okay?
Yeah.
And the N word left and right. But then those same people, including those same artists, lambast like, a conservative politician and call them every name in the book. When
Yeah.
your songs glorify what you say you hate about this dude or dudette. That's my little rant.
Yeah.
So over.
Well, based on our criteria that we can't say, it's kind of okay in the middle. I would probably say overrated. I do agree though that again, this kind of goes back to the faith-based movie. I mean, there's good and bad pop, there's good and bad rock, there's good and bad country, there's good and bad whatever, except for classical. It all sucks. But anyway, but rap, I think the thing that's overrated is because I think a lot of times for me, it just kind of falls into the same sound and the same, and there's nothing really distinguishing it. And I think that's when I go, that's just not that big of a deal. Now, I will say that I thought the Super Bowl halftime show was, what little I saw of it was really bad, but I think part of that was you've got these iconic, most of them iconic rappers, and they're phoning it in, lip syncing it. Again,
I heard it was lip synced.
yeah,
I heard about
perform.
that.
Yeah, but all right. And now we've arrived
The creme
at
de
our
la
last one.
creme, number 5.
Overrated or underrated pizza?
Oh my. Oh my.
That's the same reaction you had for Tom Cruise.
Underrated. It's my favorite food, so I have to say underrated. But yeah, it's underrated. Okay. I'm not a favorite. Like I don't have a favorite movie. I don't have a favorite song. I don't have I mean, like, it's really really hard for me to say a favorite, but that I can say is my favorite food.
What
Nugget
kind?
agrees. Did you hear
What
that?
kind? Do you have a favorite kind of pizza?
Yes, pepperoni extra cheese. And my favorite brand right now is Round Table Pizza, which is, I guess, is a California thing. I don't think you guys have it out there, but
No,
but
yeah.
Round Table Pizza is my favorite brand. There's also one out here that I really like in Petaluma called Old Chicago Pizza. And I'm not really big on like New York style, Chicago style. I'm not really big on that. But Old Chicago Pizza is, oh my golly. And it's great leftover too. It's
Have
really
you
good
ever
leftover. Both of
had
them are actually.
have you ever had pizza in Chicago?
No.
I have.
No, but the guy who was the owner, I don't know if he's still alive or anything, but the owner of Old Chicago Pizza transplanted from Chicago. So this is like I
Yeah.
assume it's it's the real deal.
I was in Chicago a few years ago for a conference, and we just found this dive pizza place. And to me, okay, so first of all, I'm going to go underrated too. I love pizza. I could have pizza every night. Love it.
That's what I was going to say. I can literally have it every single day.
I don't
I
get
could
tired of it.
literally have pizza every single
Yep.
day.
I don't get tired of it. But I've had New York pizza at like a real New York dive. I've had Chicago pizza. There was a great pizza place in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm from, and it was a little different. And it's great. Now, here's my question for you though. So when you eat it as a leftover, cold or not, can you eat cold pizza?
I can, but it's not my favorite. What I actually do is I warm it up in the oven.
We do too. We put it
I
on
warm it
pizza
up in the
dough.
oven.
Yeah.
And Old Chicago Pizza is great like that, and
Yep.
Round Table Pizza is good like that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do the same thing. I absolutely cannot eat cold pizza at all. There are other
Yeah, I
foods.
can. It's just not my favorite. I can. Like
Yeah.
sometimes what I'll do. Okay, so I'm a little peculiar, in case you didn't know that. But I'm a goofy quirkball. But what I like to do is take off the crust when I reheat it because I usually eat the crust first because it's my least favorite part of the pizza. It's not that I don't like crust. It's just it's not my favorite. My favorite part is the cheesy pepperoni, extra cheese. I call it the body of the pizza. That's my favorite part of the pizza. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take off the crust, and when I'm heating it up, I'll munch on a cold crust.
Ugh,
I might
I
do
can't
that,
do
you
that.
know.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
pizza is my favorite, and that's one of very few categories where I could say no. I definitely have a favorite food, and that's pepperoni extra cheese pizza.
Well, there you go. And how ironic that that's part of our video podcast name.
Yeah, and that's actually if you listen to or watch episode 1, then of the first one that dropped, that is we talk about how we came up with our name after 90 plus minutes of like trying to be creative and whatnot. Kevin
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, let's just do this. What's your favorite movie?" Well, I don't really have a favorite movie. Okay, what's your favorite genre? Comedy. What's your favorite food? Pizza. Like no hesitation, pizza. What's your favorite color? Blue. I have a favorite color. Blue's my favorite color. And yeah, and so Funny Blue Pizza. That's
And
how
thus
the
our name
name
was
of the
born. So for anybody out there that thinks it's just like fun and games doing a video podcast like this, I just want you to remember and concentrate on what Christopher just said. It took us an hour and a half to come up with the name Funny Blue Pizza. So for those of you that are going to get into show business, just make sure you book some time. It's the little things that become the hard things. My parents named me probably in just a moment, but yet it took us an hour and a half to come up with.
Funny Blue Pizza.
So this was fun. This was
Yeah,
fun.
I do like it, and you are correct. We should probably have an over under lightning round or something
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
more than just this episode.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
I completely liberated the idea from somebody else that I saw them do it, and I thought that is just brilliant. I like it better than the coffee tea,
Yeah,
black white.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
but anyway, but yeah, let us know in the comments. What you think about our answers,
Yes.
and I think
And
we'll be doing this
please
some
no
more.
hate mail. This is we're doing this all in good fun.
Yes. And if you would like to reach out to us, you can just go to funnybluepizza.com
Calm.
and you can leave a message. You can leave a voice message.
You can leave
And
a
who knows?
voice message. That's
Yep.
incredible.
We might even leave it, use it in a future episode, especially if you attach some money. No, it's free. It's free to do that. So excellent.
This episode is sponsored by our voicemail messages.
Is sponsored by Benjamin, not Benjamin Moore, the dollar. All right. This has been fun. This has been fun. Thank you so much for listening.
Too funny.
Blue
Pizza.
And until next time, and actually beyond that, I'm Kevin Kolbe.
I'm Christopher Shanshaw. Go to funnybluepizza.com. Oh, and by the way, how about churchpeoplefilm.com too? Go to churchpeoplefilm.com.
He's holding it up.
And,
we'll see you next time.
And watch Church People.
Bye.
Bye.